All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I had to push the time back just a little bit. I knew that when my family went out to go get breakfast, I knew the breakfast was going to arrive either right when I was starting or when I was going through the reaction. But we're here, and my breakfast is over. I'm just sipping on some orange juice right now, getting my vitamin C's in. Or is it vitamin D? I forget which one. But that's already done. I'm just sipping on some orange juice now, and I am fully prepared for today's reaction of One Punch Man. Now, mind you, this chapter came out yesterday, and for some reason, I keep forgetting that One Punch Man chapters come out on Wednesday, but I don't ever check. So I was going through playing Control yesterday, and it just didn't dawn on me that today is Wednesday. Check for One Punch Man. I seem to be doing these One Punch Man chapters the day after they drop, so I really need to be more mindful of that. Apologies. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another One Punch Man chapter reaction and review. I couldn't even say that without having to swallow. Chapter reaction and review. Good to see you, Ravi. Last we left off in chapter 177, Saitama was, I wouldn't say it was a fight between Saitama and Tornado. It was more so Saitama just dealing with Tornado having a fit. Dealing with the fact that Saitama is unaffected by all the things that she's doing towards him. Not doing to him because she's really not doing much. Doing towards him, and him having to just deal with her just going completely mental over the thought of like, no one can protect my sister but me, and he's just dealing with it. It's not a matter of she's giving him a hard time, it's just that he's just dealing with it. One, because she started wrecking the Heroes Association when she got angry after Apollo, who we now know the name of the Tsukuyomi guy now, tried to take both Blizzard and Psychos. So they're all the way on the outskirts of the HQ. We had a family driving in saying like, boy, I can't wait to go to the Heroes HQ. All that money that we're paying for 35 on a 35-year loan, it's gonna be great to go to the Hero HQ. And as soon as they get there, they almost get caught in a crossfire between Saitama and Tornado's altercation. And this kid is all like, oh, I want to see Heroes. Let's go see Heroes. No, get real close. I'm like, kid, you are very, very dumb. You are very, very dumb to get close to a literal whirling tornado. And it's all like, I want to hear her voice. I want to hear Tornado's voice. And then he hears Tornado's voice saying like, I'm going to destroy you, Saitama, as she's lifting the car up in the air because one of the rocks that Saitama was deflecting from her almost found its way towards this family. And while she's holding them up, she's just literally yelling like crazed in a mad rage that she's gonna murder Saitama, and all the families are like, is this a hero we were going to go see? I think we're done with heroes. You heard her voice, son? Yeah, okay, let's go. And so that's going on, and the entire time Saitama is just like, I want to go home. So, let's get started with today's chapter. I had to do a little bit of a recap to make sure that we were starting on the right one. Chapter 178, Busy. Oh, we got Metal Bat here on the front page. And then it begins with Tornado going, I can't entrust Blizzard to you like this, so you better stay away from her. And then Saitama, his whole entire motivation is just completely gone. His motivation is just completely gone, as he just thinks, I really want to go home. And then Tornado starts to blast him with a telekinetic attack, and it kind of pretty much messes up the upper half of his tracksuit. And then he yells, you blew away my tracksuit! And then Tornado, I'm not done yet! And then she just completely blasts Saitama into the distance. And as this is going on, wow. Okay, so One Punch Man is emulating the whole altercation between Clark and Zod during the end of Man of Steel, where Saitama is sent flying through the air. And as his momentum starts to slow down, he gets hit again with another telekinetic blast. and he gets sent further and further away outside of the outskirts of the city, like he's shooting past highways and everything. Every single time he seems to slow down, he keeps getting hit again and again by blast by tornado. Then we cut back to the hero HQ, where everyone is like cordoning off the entire area because Apollo and the spy that was in the Blizzard bunch, they've already escaped. They made their way out. And the guy pretty much started to injected himself. Apollo injected himself to, keep that supplement that was inside of Blizzard from, progressing any further, vowing revenge against Tornado and Blizzard as they get away. But we cut to Blizzard, who's standing there in the opening where Saitama jumped through the roof, thinking back to what her sister said.
Leave, or I'll force you to.
And then Blizzard thinks,
Big sis will never back down now.
And then it cuts to one of her members of the Blizzard bunch as she goes,
Miss Blizzard, we apologize for our incompetence earlier.
And then she goes,
It'll never happen again.
And then Eyelashes goes, let's investigate Tsukuyomi. And then Blizzard looks down and she just looks back up at her group and goes,
No, it's over.
Huh?
The Blizzard bunch is breaking up. You're too weak, so we're finished.
Wow. Does she mean that? Also, she's really stretching out that dress she's wearing. Like, really stretching it out. Not that it's a bad thing, but she's really stretching it out. So much attention to, her. But she says,
you're too weak, so we're finished.
And then the entire Blizzard bunch just stands in awe, because who knows how long all those members of the Blizzard bunch have even been with her. Like Eyelashes, and the big guy, and the one girl that has her hair all done up in a very fancy style with that one blue streak of hair. I think it's a blue streak in the anime. She says,
this is goodbye. Don't follow me.
And then Eyelashes and everyone watches as she floats up through the hole that Saitama made with Tornado. And they're just going, no way. Then we cut to City N. And we cut to a warehouse on a waterfront. And it cuts to one guy as someone is like kind of sitting next to a crater in the wall. And they go, you put up quite a fight, but now you're tiring out, Feather. Oh, it's the hero Feather. And he just got bodied by people. This is the same dude that was at the whole monsters eradication team. I know it's not called monster eradication team, but he was part of the front lines when they were going to the monster HQ way back when. He was like the people there to support the S-Class on the ground floor while everyone else went underground. You put up quite a fight, but now you're tiring out, Feather, and you're too injured to do that mid-air murder thing anymore. But man, how dumb are you? I can't believe you fell for such an obvious trick. We said we had a hostage and you came running. And then again, only an idiot would mess with Iron Fist, the strongest gang in N-City. You might have won with about 5 more Class A heroes, but this was easy. Boss ain't even come yet. Got any last words? And then it cuts to Feather, who goes, just show me she's safe. Class A, rank 34 hero Feather. Okay, so with him saying we said we had a hostage and you came running, and then it cuts to Feather saying just show me she's safe. Is there really a hostage though? Because the way they're insinuating it makes me think that there's not even a hostage and Feather just came there under the pretense of there being a hostage and he just got beat up. So he's still asking, just show me she's safe. And then actually is a person there. He's toast, so show him. Come on out, Erica. And it's this extremely hot woman who just walks up. Erica? What does this mean?
You fool. I deceived you this whole time. Big Iron leads this gang, and I'm his woman.
So the person that was originally said to be a hostage is actually the leader of Iron Fist's girlfriend? And they led Feather here? What a story to be cutting to right when we're dealing with Saitama versus Tornado. And then, of course, this revelation surprises Feather.
When he learned that you were investigating the gang, he offered me up to you as a weak woman afraid of his gang. Thank you for falling for my bad acting. How like a hero to lose your head over fake tears. You're so pathetic that I don't even want to look at you anymore. You don't know how hard it was to hold in my laughter.
What a cruel woman. And then Feather starts laughing. He's laughing. Maybe he went nuts. You're right, Erica. Your acting really is terrible. And then it cuts to Erica, who, even though she's facing away from Feather, she's actually crying. So all this bad acting she says she's doing, it's actually what she's saying to Feather right now. It's not how she was when she appeared to Feather the first time. It's how she is right now, saying all these mean things to Feather. That's not how she actually feels. Because she's tearing up. Because she doesn't want to do this. And there's silence. And then the big boss heads in. Hey, ain't you done yet? One little mouse shouldn't be hard. Boss! Looks like he's on his last breath. Let me join in killing him. Class A wanted man, Big Iron. And of course, Big Iron is obviously a big dude. And then Feather goes, cool, you don't have a hostage. Cool, you don't have a hostage. Now I can cut loose. Watch this, Erica. As a hero, I'm gonna go all out! And as soon as he says this, Saitama comes flying into the building, crashing directly into Feather. So much for me thinking that this story was going to cut away from Saitama and Tornado for too long. But Saitama comes crashing into the warehouse right behind Feather and slams completely into him. And pretty much knocks him out completely. Oops. Sorry about that. Bill her for repairs. And Saitama's just looking at Tornado and says it's her fault. I love this series. The comedy is really good. The comedy is really good in this series. Bill her for repairs. Yikes, what's with all the wasted dudes? Call an ambulance. And then it cuts to... And Saitama's looking at every knocked out person that's inside of this warehouse. Mind you, there's still a whole bunch of other people who are conscious, but all the unconscious people are the people that Feather took out. What's with all the wasted dudes? Yikes. Call an ambulance. Then it cuts to Saitama again. Hey, bashing into buildings is dangerous.
Huh? Then don't do it.
Well, you keep blowing me around. Sorry, I'll go now. And he's looking at all these dudes. There's no sense of danger from all of these dudes. And he's all like, sorry, I intruded. I'm going to go ahead and leave. And all the dudes of the Iron Fist gang are just watching on as they see Tornado. That's terrible, Tornado! She's the second strongest pro hero! Feather broke his promise! He called another hero! Then it cuts to Big Iron, who goes, never mind that. She's class S, but she's alone. We'll take her out and we're top dogs. Kill her! And then Saitama just goes, go easy, man. And then Big Iron goes, out of the way, loser! And he just hits Saitama in the head, which literally does nothing to him. And then Saitama nonchalantly just goes, same to you. And he just punches Big Iron and sends him flying completely through the roof of the building, leaving an imprint of his body in the roof. Boss! Saitama, who are you guys? Who are you? Let's go bust their heads in! And then it cuts to Tornado, who chimes in going,
oh, please. Can't you see we're busy?
And then it just cuts to all of these guys completely downed. All of the entire warehouse has been destroyed. Mind you, the warehouse was relatively intact when Saitama and Tornado got there. But we're looking at the aftermath, and the warehouse is just gone. Like, it's completely destroyed around all these unconscious members of the Iron Fist gang. And then it cuts to Feather, who's now conscious, going, "They left like the wind. Class S is impressive." Then he walks up to Erica, who's pretty much the only conscious person other than Feather that's up right now. "Erica, they forced you to do this. I don't blame you for what you've done. Forget the past and find the freedom you sought." And then it cuts to Erica, who's going,
"Terrible tornado set me free. I gotta write her a thank you note."
Like, Erica's not even paying any attention to Feather because she's so grateful and enamored by Tornado helping her out. And then it cuts to Feather. "Mission complete, but what a mess. I can't believe I said that all outline. Go home, go to bed, and forget all about this." See, even these heroes are not immune to being embarrassed. So it's all like, okay, let's just forget about all this, go home, go to bed, forget this ever happened, move on. So now we cut to City H, and there's smoke and destruction in the distance. I have no idea what's going on. "Emergency! Emergency evacuation! Emergency evacuation! A giant monster has appeared! The threat level has risen from demon to dragon! The whole city is under evacuation orders, so please leave in an orderly fashion!" And everyone is trying to evacuate the city because it's a giant monster that's there. "The monster continues to rampage, destroying nearly all of East City H. The very survival of human civilization is at stake." And it's a giant threat-level dragon pincushion rat. It's literally a cross between a rat and a hedgehog. And it's basically a kaiju. And it's just ripping apart this entire city. "According to reports, the monster has annihilated all local police, firefighting, and hero personnel. No, wait! It appears the Class S hero known as Metalbat has almost reached the scene. But will he arrive in time? We in the media cannot stay much longer. Hurry, Metalbat!" And it cuts to Metalbat, who's running towards the city, and it cuts to Metalbat's sister, who's going, "Big bro!" And it cuts to Metalbat, who's just huffing and puffing as he's trying to get to where the monster is. "My beloved cat is due to give birth today, and my beloved cat is due to give birth today, and I'm the only Class S hero who can come. Give me a break! Tama better come through this safe. Tama better come through this safe." And then he skids around the side of a building and goes, "There it is! Are you the reason I'm here? Traffic was jammed, so I had to run!" And he's looking at the pincushion rat. "Now I'm gonna take out my frustration." And before he even says frustration, something flies through the head of the pincushion rat, completely destroys it and kills it. And the whole body of the pincushion rat falls right in front of Metalbat. And then it cuts to Tornado, who's still throwing a Saitama around. She's still throwing Saitama around, and Saitama's still fine. I mean, his upper tracksuit is gone, but at least his Crocs is still on.
Why are you so tough? Just lose already!
And she just shoves Saitama through several buildings. And Saitama just goes, "Stop destroying stuff! Why do you think I took us outside?" And then it cuts to Metalbat, who's just watching this insanity unfold. And then he just walks away. "Phew, calm down. Don't get angry. Take deep breaths. Go home to Tama." And that's the end of chapter 178. Wow, this has been just one big massive chapter of Tornado just tossing Saitama around. We're seeing this fight from this perspective of other people. Like, we see Feather getting beat up by the Iron Fist gang, and Saitama comes flying in because Tornado threw him, and then they get thrown. Then Saitama gets pushed and thrown all the way into City H. Who knows how many miles they've gone. And they wind up taking out a threat level dragon monster. but it's literally just Saitama's body being thrown through the head of this monster. It's not even the fact that Tornado took it out or Saitama took it out. It's just Saitama just became an unwilling projectile that took out this monster that the news feed supposedly said threatens all of humanity. And it just gets killed instantly by a random Saitama body. But let's not overlook the more important story element that happened in this chapter. Blizzard basically just said that the Blizzard bunch is over, and that every one of her subordinates are too weak, and that this is goodbye. This was great, but felt like filler. Yeah, I understand that. I can see that. It really wasn't like an overall Saitama versus Tornado-centric chapter, because it cut to different things that were happening in this chapter. I feel like the most important thing that happened during this chapter was Blizzard telling the rest of her subordinates that the Blizzard bunch is over, and she just flew off saying that they were all too weak. That was by far the most important story element that happened here. But this just shows that Saitama, it really is built different if a Class S hero. Especially the number 2 hero, like Tornado, has yet to do any lasting damage to Saitama's body. Now, mind you, his clothes are not immune to the effects of the fights that he gets in. But Saitama himself, he pretty much was completely unscathed. Has been completely unscathed despite getting thrown all over these different cities. They were at the Hero HQ on the outskirts of what it was at City Z, or I forget where exactly, but Saitama is basically just done. He is not motivated to see this through any further. It's not even annoying, it's just boredom. It's like there's literally a panel where it says his motivation just dropped dealing with Tornado. Like, he was okay with dealing with Tornado at first, simply because she threatened to destroy his new digs. But his motivation for continuing the fight is basically gone. So Tornado is just tossing him around, but to her annoyance, Saitama is not, conceding defeat or getting defeated by her. He's just taking everything. Like, she's throwing this dude all over these different cities, through multiple buildings, through using his body as a projectile to kill monsters. And Saitama's all like, I didn't bring you outside for you to keep destroying stuff. And because Tornado's all like, you stop destroying stuff. Or like, actually, hold on. What'd she say? Why are you so tough? Just lose already. And then Saitama says, stop destroying stuff. Why do you think I took us outside? Because Tornado is just... Actually, Tornado is causing far more damage to the city because of this tantrum than any other present threats that we've seen thus far. She's just casually trying to, beat up Saitama, and she doesn't care how many buildings she destroys in the process. Like, she throws this dude through 3 whole buildings. 3 whole buildings in City H where Metal Bat is. And Saitama's all like, why do you think I brought us outside? Stop destroying stuff! Because it's like, I wouldn't call this like a major event, because that would imply that Saitama is facing a great threat. He's not. I mean, I say this again, after going through the whole Cosmic Garo arc where Saitama was facing literally an individual powered by God and the universe, and Saitama was fighting this individual one-handed and still had no trouble. I mean, Tornado is not, nor has she ever been, a threat to Saitama. Now, mind you, Saitama really doesn't have a defense against people who can telekinetically lift him in the air. Though we haven't seen him, we haven't seen him try and wrest him control from people trying to hold on to him using telekinesis. But Tornado is not a threat. So I don't know if he's waiting for her to, burn herself out and get tired for her to see reason. Or it's like, I don't know if Tornado thinks that she's... Okay, so here's the thing. Everyone who knows Saitama knows how strong he is. King does, Genos, Bang, Bomb, even Blizzard knows how strong Saitama is, but everyone else just sees him as like a class A rank, or even lower than that, so they don't even know his true strength. No one even knows the true nature of his strength except for Genos and all the other heroes who were present at his debriefing. But Tornado's just like going about this a whole wrong way, and I know this stems from her upbringing, like her being experimented on, and her having basically a superiority complex with all of her powers. But it's like, how is this fight going to end in a way that doesn't cause more destruction than there was at the Hero HQ? That's what I'm thinking. But we'll just have to see in the next chapter. I'm actually glad that I managed to read this before I have to get ready to continue with my control stream later today. But I don't know how this I don't know how this altercation, because a fight would mean either side has an equal chance of winning, when we all know that Saitama would win if he even laid a finger on Tornado. But we'll just have to see how this situation turns out in the next chapter. I thought it was great, but I have to agree with Ravi. This was really like a bit of a filler chapter, especially with all the other heroes sprinkled in there. But I feel like the most important story element that happened in this chapter was Blizzard basically looking at her entire group, who she's built up for years, saying they're all too weak, and just saying like, this is goodbye, and just flying off. That by far is the most important thing that happened in this chapter, aside from, Saitama just dealing with Tornado. But other than that, I enjoyed the chapter. It wasn't like astronomically great, but for a filler chapter, it was pretty alright. You guys let me know what you thought of this chapter in the comments down below. And to everyone here, all I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then subscribe, share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples.